everybody. Welcome to Captain Dorja's Armory. This is Captain Dorja, and we are looking at my brand new, awesome tank, the E-50M Tier 10 German medium tank. One of two Tier 10 German medium tanks. Just in case, just for those who are unaware, the Germans now have two medium tank lines. There's the line that culminates in the E-50M. That's the kind of the original German medium tank line. It goes from the Panzer III-4 to the 3001H to the Panther, Panther II, E-50, E-50M. The other one culminates in the Leopard 1, comes up through the 3001D, 3002D, Indian Panzer, Leopard prototype, and finishing in the Leopard. So I just got the E-50M. I don't have a lot of battles in it. Actually, I've only got one battle in it. I've played it on the test server quite a bit. I probably have 20 test server battles in it. This is the E-50. And I played the E-50 a lot. And I really liked the E-50. When I first got it, I hated it. It took me a long time to kind of figure out what I was doing in this tank. But once I learned how to make the E-50 work, it was really good. I like it as much as the T-54, and the T-54 is amazing. So the E-50M is like, so far, I've only played one game in it, but it's just like more of the same. E-50 Ausführung M just means E-50 Model M. So it stands to reason that the E-50 and the E-50M should be pretty similar because they're literally the same tank. Just the E-50M is an improved version. And, this is old news to pretty much everybody. The E-50M's been out for a while now. But I just want to go over it a little bit. This tank is really good. I like this tank a lot. I transferred my E-50 crew into the E-50M. And for crew skills, I've taken 6 cents in camouflage on my commander, and then on everyone else I've taken camouflage and repair. I want to get camouflage and repair at 100%. I have 100% camo and 93 to 92% repair on everybody else, except for the commander, who has 92% camo and 100% 6 cents and no repair. Part of that is because if I use this tank in clan battles, I know that our clan wants medium tanks with 100% camo. Also, my equipment setup is influenced by what our clan wants as well. They want tanks with long view range. They want you to have an open slot for either binoculars or a camo net. On my E-50, I ran gun rammer, vertical stabilizer, coated optics. And if I was just going to play this tank in pub matches, I probably would have either gone gun rammer vents optics or gun rammer vertical stabilizer optics, but I'm leaving my third slot open for either binoculars or camouflage net as our commander's request. And I think what I'm going to do is a lot of the time in pub matches I'm probably going to run binoculars. This tank has really long view range of 400 meters. So adding an additional 100 meters to that with binocular telescope is a good idea. Also, this tank is a super sniper of just amazing ability, so it's not unfeasible to think that even though it is a fast medium, you might spend a lot of time far away from the enemy and stationary. Okay, so about the tank. This tank is, like I just said, it is a super sniper of epic proportions. Check out this gun. 105mm KWK-42 L52 Ausführung K. It is an improved version of the gun from the E-50, which is an improved version of the first 105mm gun that you get on the Tiger II. So the Tiger II's 105mm guns are renowned sniper guns in World of Tanks, and the gun on the E-50 is a better Tiger II gun, and the gun on the E-50M is a better E-50 gun. So E-50M, it brings a weapon with it to the fight. Like, this thing does not come with small teeth. This is a dangerous gun. 6.25 round per minute rate of fire, which is pretty decent. That's slightly faster than the rate of fire on the T110 E5 heavy tank, which has a pretty quick rate of fire. I mean, it's not as good as stuff like a T62A or whatever, but you have other strengths in this gun to make up for the rate of fire not being as high as a lot of the other 210 mediums. 270 average penetration with standard AP, which as you can see is an APCR, which is really nice because the APCR shells fly really fast, which means it's not as you don't have to lead the targets as much, and their penetration doesn't dissipate with range as much. 330 penetration on the premium shells, which are high explosive anti-tank, and I have 5 of those, mostly just because HE shells have been really letting me down for resetting caps lately. So most of the reason why I have heat shells is absolutely positively must pen, probably on a cap reset. Now on the AP and the HE, or AP and the heat rather, 390 alpha damage, same as on the E50. Really, really high for a medium tank. .3 accuracy, one of the most accurate guns in the game. This thing placed gun on target fire. And a 2.1 second aiming time, which is also pretty quick. So you have a really, really good gun. The tank has a lot of health, 2,050. It's pretty heavy. It weighs 62.66 tons. And it's got the 1,200 horsepower engine from the E-Series tanks. So same engine as the E50, same engine as the E100, same engine as the E75. Biggest difference is it's rear mounted, so it doesn't get set on fire as much. At least it shouldn't. You have a top speed of 60 kilometers per hour and a 44-degree traverse speed, which is really good. The E50 had a 60 kph top speed, but only a 26-degree traverse speed. So you have the speed of the E50, but you actually have some agility. And the armor on this tank for a medium tank is really good. You have 185 at the front of the turret, 80 on the sides and rear. The turret's not that sloped, but it is pretty small, and you have the mantlet covers most of it. And this gun mantlet will stop very, very large hits. In the replay that we're going to see, I took a hit right about here, and it did nothing. Front hull armor, 120 millimeters thick, and you can see it's sloped back at a very steep angle. And the lower plate is also very sloped, and it's not that large. 80 on the sides, 80 on the rear. One thing that's nice about the E-50M versus the E50 is the E-50M is squashed down some. Not much, but you can see it there, which means the front armor is more steeply angled and the sides are not as large, which is good, because one of the biggest weaknesses of the E50 is that it's a really large tank and has big sides. So the E-50M, it's still a really large medium tank, it still has big sides, but they're not as big. Like I said, because it's really heavy, you can ram good with it, and it has a good top speed, and it's got good front armor, so you really can ram pretty well with this thing. I haven't gotten a chance yet in my one entire game, but I'm sure I'll get the chance at some point. 30-degree traversing turret, which is the same on the E50, so by now if you play Germans, you got an E50M, you're going to be used to the turret traverse. 400 meter view range, not as good as an M48 Patton, but it's better than almost everything else in the game, and 720 meter signal range, so pretty standard. Okay, so I've been over it in the garage real quick, and I want to get into the battle portion of this, because I had a really fun first match in this tank, and I just want to showcase that for you guys. Alright, so we're loading into battle here in the E-50M. This is the first battle I ever played in this tank. You can see we're on a encounter battle on Malinovka, which is cool. I don't mind Malinovka. A lot of people really hate it. I don't mind it at all. And I like encounter mode on Malinovka because I think it kind of forces people to play this map the way it should be. So since I'm in a fast medium tank and I'm top tier, since I'm in a tier 10, I'm definitely going to be going hill. Now the enemy has a platoon of 2 Batshats, and initially I was very, very worried about that, because those 2 Batshats, a little bit of a glitch there, I'm not sure what that was. Anyway, those 2 Batshats can put a lot of hurt into me, and they can do it fast, so I'm not too stoked about the possibility of running into platooned Batshats at the top of this hill. Now you can see I have some people coming with me. I got a Leopard prototype, an IS-8, and a AMX-50 Foch, as well as an Indian Panzer and T-71. So we spot an enemy M103, and we're going to... This isn't really the wisest decision, probably, but we're going to stop and take a pot shot at him. So our first shot's out. We hit that M103 and managed to do 400 damage. So contact with the enemy on the hill. We have a 1390 and a T-71. Not a huge deal. I mean, you know, you don't want to take these little autoloader light tanks for granted, but when you're worried about encountering two Batshats, encountering these two guys is much, much better. So we put one into the T-71, get a high damage roll, we bounce his shot, and we've done over 50% of his health. Now at that point, I did not know the IS-8 was there. I roll out to finish the T-71, and the IS-8 manages to hit me. So change of tactics here. We're going to side scrape against the IS-8, and we're just going to shoot right through his lower plate. Now the E-50M has the same armor as a Tiger II, so you can side scrape successfully against an IS-8 with a Tiger II. There's no reason in the world why you shouldn't do it with an E-50M. So we're going to take a look at where I'm shooting that IS-8, just riddling his lower plate with shots, easily penetrating. We've already done 2,000 damage, and I donk the shot there, but I get away with it scot-free, and no harm done. Now right there, I had my turret turned, and I'm not even sure... Oh, he hit me in the lower plate. I thought he fired through my turret side, but no. He hit me in the lower plate. So, both IS-8s are killed, one by me, one by our Foch, and this was dumb. I got really, really lucky there. I took one hit. Can't see where that one went in. I took one hit right there. Should have probably taken a lot more damage than that. That was lucky, because that was a stupid move. Cresting over that hill like that. I mean, there's two T-30s right there, for God's sakes. So, prudence is finally taking hold of my mind, and I'm going to reposition to try and fire down at these guys from a slightly better angle. I fire a blind shot at the 268. Honestly, not sure if that hits or not. And I have been spotted, but I'm going to try and aim one for the T-34. And I fire at the T-34, and I bounce, and there's the shot that I took on the gun mantlet. I'm not sure what that was, but there was only 3 possibilities. That was either an Object 268, a T-30, or a T-34. All of those tanks have very powerful guns, and my gun mantlet stopped the shell. So that shows that the gun mantlet on the E-50M is actually pretty good. So at this point I communicate to my team that I'm going down the hill, and the Leopard prototype is with me, and the Foch, the Indian Panzer, the T-30, IS-8, and the E-100, they're all providing support fire, so we have a lot of fire with us. So I feel confident to go down this hill and engage. A T-30 puts a big hit on me, but I get lucky that all it does is knock off both my tracks. Our Jagdpanzer E-100 ammo racks the 268, and I put a second shot into the T-30 and kill him. My first shot was on the move, not from too close, but not from too far away either, so lucky to have that one go in on the T-30. I get my track blown off by the IS-3, and I think I'm getting shot right now by a 1390 and a Batshat. So I'm in trouble right now. Batshat's got me down to 180 health. I got a damaged turret, and I've already used my repair kit on my tracks. I was pretty frustrated that I bounced a shell off that IS-3 front armor. I think I must have hit his turret. With a gun like this, you know, you just kind of aim with contempt at the front armor of an IS-3, and so when it bounces off, you're like, what? No! But I didn't get it to pen, I didn't get the kill. So you can see there, I took one shot from the 1390 that penetrated, and 2 shots from the Batshat. You can see I'm looking at it right down here. But I know my duty, I need to press on, and I almost donk out here. I tried to ram the 1390 into the water, but I almost drove myself into the water, and then I missed the 1390. But I reload and ninja the kill from everybody else. And we're pushing in here with a giant horde of people. And so I can see on my mini-map that the Batshat and the T-34 were last spotted over by the water. And I see the Leopard prototype in over near like our normal spawn area. So I decided to go and snipe the Leopard because he could easily kill that T-32, and I would really prefer that he not kill that T-32. So I'm going to put some sniper fire up his fart pipe, and weird. Oh, I just missed that shot. I thought it looked like the replay glitched out. It looked like the replay glitched out there, but it didn't. The Leopard got tracked and I was leading him, so my shot actually went just in front of his tank. We're down to just the T-34 left. This game is easily in the bag. We're pushing in on this guy with like 7 people. He's got no prayer whatsoever. It's just a race to find out who can put, more damage in on this guy. And I'm trying to cut inside the Foch so that he can't get a shot, but it doesn't matter anyway. The Jagdpanzer E-100 destroys that guy with contempt, and victory is ours. So let's take a look at some post-battle results. Victory! 54,381 credits received, 2,744 experience. That was obviously doubled for the first win of the day. First match in the E-50M, and it was a victory, so it had to be the first win of the day. You can see I managed to get a steel wall, and I think that's a Spartan medal, as well as Mastery Badge 2nd class. So that is a pretty good result. I would call that a pretty good result anyway. Sorting by damage done, you can see that my blind shot at that Object 268 must have gone in, because my damage counter was showing 3,200, and it's telling me right here that I got 3,635, and my gun does 390 average damage. So getting a 430 damage hit is not out of the question. So obviously my blind shot on the 268 went in, so that's good. You can see that I managed second damage only behind the Jagdpanzer E-100 and only by 2 shots. So that's pretty good. Almost keeping up with a JPE. Those things are just ridiculous. Managed to get 3 kills, 925 on modified experience. I think I was also second in unmodified experience behind the JPE. Yep. So that was a good match for me. You can see those 2 Batshats that I was worried about. This one did a lot of damage, but this one did absolutely nothing. I have no idea where they were even fighting, but essentially their efforts were entirely wasted. The one Batshat who did a lot of damage, good for him, he did a lot of damage, but honestly, he just let his team down. This 268 really let his team down as well. Being in a Tier 10 tank destroyer and managing 0 damage is unacceptable. Really just the only 2 people that even showed up to the battle were these 2 guys, and then this T-34 was like sort of kind of there, and this IS-8 was like, oh well, I guess maybe I can be here a little bit. I gotta leave, guys. He didn't really show up either, so that team they had no chance. You can see 20 shots fired, 15 direct hits, only 11 penetrations, which is a little surprising, and 5 misses is a little surprising as well. A couple of my bounced shots were just not well aimed. I took kind of a chancy shot at a T-34 where most of what I could see was turret. No big shocker that didn't go in. I took a bad shot at the IS-8 side. No surprise that didn't go in. I derped that horrible shot on the 1390 that missed completely. I missed the Leopard prototype. I fired a couple on the move when I was going down the hill. So, Of the shots that I took that were good shots, not stupid shots, basically they all hit and they all penetrated. And what's crazy though is just how durable this tank is. I managed to survive 15 hits, 9 of them penetrated. This is a medium tank, and it tanked 6,190 damage. If I tanked 6,190 damage with, my E-100, or my Jagdpanzer E-100, or my T-110E3, or my IS-4, I'd be pretty happy with the performance. Those are all heavily armored and heavily or heavily armored tank destroyers and heavy tanks. And the E-50M is a pretty heavily armored medium tank as far as medium tanks go, but it's still a medium tank and it only has 2,050 health. Like E-100, way more armor and has 650 extra health. And if I took that much damage in an E-100, I'd be like, yeah, I was doing a good job with my armor. So that just shows that the E-50M can be really, really rugged. It's just a good tank. I didn't fire any premium ammo, and I only made a profit of 8,000 credits, so pretty expensive tank to play. You can see my repair bill was 22,000 credits. That's quite a lot. You also down here, it's kind of interesting that undoubled, that was only 14, not even 1,400 experience, and it was only, I think, Mastery Badge 2nd class. So I think getting Ace Tanker on this tank is probably going to be fairly hard. But I've only played one game, and I'm not the god of World of Tanks, so I don't get my Mastery Badge on the first game. I don't think I've ever got my Mastery Badge on the first game, but whatever. I think this tank's going to be pretty fun. I think I'm going to enjoy it a lot. It's like an E50 on crack, which is good because I liked the E50 a lot. I think this should be a pretty good time. So I hope you guys enjoyed that replay. I enjoyed playing the game, and yeah, I'm looking forward to getting more battles in the E50M. And well, anyway, I hope you guys liked it. So until next time, this is Captain Georgia. And just remember, guys, you can never have enough big guns.